Hello, I think I'm live now. Hopefully, audio is working okay. Um, yeah, so this is episode 2 of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing as a gnoll assassin of Uskaya. When we last left off, I think the episode ended with an "oh no" from me because I wasn't sure whether or not things were actually recording. But it seems like things did record. I just didn't realize what and where it was happening. So anyway, well, why don't instead of apologizing further, why don't we actually get started with this episode? So okay, so here we are, Doctor Barkstabby, a very good name. So when we last left off, I was dealing with this bee. Just as a reminder, I have quite a lot of stuff in my inventory. Right now, I actually have 50 out of 52 slots. It's not going to let me keep much more. It's only going to let me keep 2 more items, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. At the moment, I just want to deal with this bee. Luckily, I am wearing a scale mail of poison resistance, which should help me not get so poisoned in dealing with it. So I'm going to wield this scimitar because it does a reasonable amount of damage. And actually, right now, you notice that the moment it attacked, it actually got damaged. So there are different types of weapons in this game. Thus far, I've mostly been showing off the dagger, which is in the short blades category, which is good for stabbing, and the axe, which is in the axes category, which is good for cleaving across a group of enemies. What's nice about the scimitar is that this one is a long blade. Not only does a scimitar do a considerable amount of damage, or quite good for one of the blades, and is relatively speedy too. It also automatically, sometimes occasionally counterattacks. It riposts or riposts. I don't know how you pronounce it. All sorts of things I don't know how to pronounce on this stream. So when the bee attacked me, you see that it says the killer bee barely misses you. You riposte. You slash the killer bee. So let's actually intentionally attack it. So I'm hitting tab to intentionally attack it, and I eventually got it. Okay, I want to switch back to my dagger, and the reason why I default to my dagger is that okay, wait. Well, I'm going to finish saying that. So the reason I default to my dagger is that if I happen to run into something, I want to, if it's still asleep, I want to kill it. And if I spend more time switching weapons, then there's less of a chance that I'm going to be able to kill it. Now, what we see down here is you'll notice that this looks honeycombed. It still says rock wall, but it has this honeycomb pattern, and that's a hint to us that this has a lot of bees in it, and it also has some food. It's a little bit risky to go in here. I'm going to try anyway. It looks like I've actually scared away I've already fought or scared or otherwise alerted the bees to my presence otherwise. So actually there were no more bees left in it, and I was able to just take the honeycombs. Now, in this game, there's really only 2 types of food anymore. It used to be that there were a whole bunch of different types of rations. Now there's just basically chunks of meat from things you cut up as corpses, and there's rations. So honeycombs just turn into normal everyday rations, which are pretty much all act the same, but it rotates out what they look like sometimes. Anyway, so here there are some yaks coming towards me. I want to deal with no more than 2 at the moment. In fact, that appears to be being too much. I am at risk of dying immediately from my belief that I could handle more than I could. So I'm going to try doing the same thing I did last time, where I'm going to try enslaving this yak and get it to attack the other one. That seems to be working. If I remember correctly, enslaved or creatures you basically control only can attack when they're within your sight. At least that was the case at one point. I don't know if that's the case anymore still. At any rate, I'm going to poison this yak and then try to move away from it. That seemed to work fine. So I still seem to have trouble dealing with yaks, so I definitely don't want to deal with a group of them yet. There are probably 2 yaks right at that entrance right now, so I'm going to see if I can try to deal with just one of them at a time, or at least weaken it. Yep, so we saw that yak flash in there. There it is. So I'm going to throw darts at it. Looks like it didn't inform its buddy, which will make... I'm going to switch back to my scimitar again. make dealing with it not that hard. Okay. You know, I'm going to keep that scimitar up because I'm assuming that other yak's around here somewhere. And it's awake. Oh! Ooh, okay, so I just found something useful. This is a war axe. I am going to switch it out so that my war axe is a default axe I use instead of the hand axe. So it's much more powerful. So if you look at the comparison, if I pull up the hand axe, you'll see that this has a base accuracy of +3, base damage of 7, base attack delay at 1.3. Now, the more skilled you are, the better you can actually deal with these and make use of them. But nonetheless, the war axe has a base accuracy of +0, so it's less accurate, but the base damage is 11, which is a considerable. It might not seem like a big increase in number, but in this game, that actually is a pretty considerable increase in damage. The math is very confusing for me. I just kind of have this intuition of how it works. So now I have, I've set the war axe to be my B, so that when I switch between things again, I'll be switching between my dagger and my war axe, which should be capable of dealing a considerable amount more damage right now. In fact, the same amount of damage as the scimitar was able to do. So I really don't need the scimitar anymore, and I'm just going to drop it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to drop this hand axe. I don't need that either. I don't think I'm going to need this quarterstaff of chaos. Looking down my list, I don't need the ring mail. I might hold on to that robe of magic resistance. I doubt it's going to be useful, but I'm going to hold on to it. There's a bunch of stuff that I haven't identified down here yet, and we'll deal with that later. But first, let's try to finish clearing out this level, and I know there's that yak around here somewhere. Well, we haven't run into it. So I could try to get its attention. Not sure if that's going to help by pressing the T button twice, and it yells. So maybe I forgot. Maybe there wasn't any more than 3 axes there. Oh well, it doesn't matter much. I'm going to try to continue identifying these. So I only have 1 scroll of identify. I don't want to waste that. So I'm just going to keep reading these scrolls to find out what they are. So I read this one, and it says, you feel as if something is helping you. It's a scroll of remove cursed. Okay. So if you remember, we had a cursed ring of intelligence. That's no longer cursed. So we can actually swap out what goes in that slot now. That's pretty nice. So, and that means that we can put on something that might be cursed in the future and have a way of being able to recover from that problem in the future. So I'm going to read V. That one was a scroll of noise. You'll notice my noise level went all the way up and it went red. So that means that I'm being very noisy. Any monsters that were around would be alerted to my presence. You pretty much never want to read Scroll of Noises intentionally. This is one reason why I clear out the dungeon first, a dungeon level, before I start reading items. So I'm going to read X. This one's the Scroll of Magic Mapping, apparently. I'm going to read H, Scroll of Enchant Weapon. Okay, so I'm going to read this War Axe one. Or I'm going to increase something. I think I'm going to increase my War Axe because it's more interesting. Okay, so that's done. I wonder how the stream's working on this. Hopefully good enough. Anyway, so I increased my War Axe. What else have I got? So I'm going to read J, the Scroll of Fog. You see some fog surrounds me, and it decreases my visibility, but it would also decrease the visibility of other monsters that are around me too. And actually, reading Scrolls of Fog are not only a nice way to sneak around, they're also a nice way to get a hint as to where something that's invisible is, if you don't have a Ring of See Invisibility or some other way to see invisible things. So I'm going to read R. This one's a Scroll of Silence. You'll notice that if I hit read again, all of these are blacked out because I can't actually read anything else at the moment. So I'm just going to wait until the silence disappears because it does after a little bit, and it did. I pressed the 5 key. So I'm going to keep drinking the unidentified potions. Right now, the only one that's going to be really worrisome to me is a Potion of Degeneration. I'm just going to accept. I don't want to use my Potion of Identify. I'm just going to keep drinking these. So I drink this one as a Potion of Might. Increases my strength temporarily. I'm going to drink. I'm going to quaff, which is why you use the Q button. The blue potions. Potion of Heal Wounds. So it's a helpful thing and kind of a sad thing to waste. That can greatly increase the amount of health that you have after you take an amount of damage. It's a nice panic potion. Read G, or drink G. Oh, okay, so here's a Potion of Degeneration. You feel weakened, you feel don't be, and you feel clumsy. Now you'll notice that there's the strength that and the intelligence and dexterity on my left, and then there's the amount that it should be, which is on my right, the default amount. All of these have been decreased temporarily while I have degenerated, and they're only going to go up by engaging in combat and killing enough monsters to be able to recover them. Okay, so I can actually just drop that potion of degeneration. You never want those. I'm going to drink the gray potion. It's a potion of haste, not hate. Drink this one, and it's a potion of magic, so that can restore your magic really quickly. Okay, now we know what that stuff is. Our inventory is also significantly lighter because we've just consumed a bunch of things. While we're at it, why don't we try wielding this magical staff that we don't know what it is. So that one is an uncursed staff of poison. Well, this would be really helpful if we had any poison magic. And it can also poison enemies, which is actually pretty nice. I would rather have a poison dagger if it's available. And actually, I'm now wondering, were there any interesting daggers I didn't notice while in the dungeon so far? So I'm going to do a search for to look for short swords. And it doesn't look like there were. It looks like I've got the only really interesting one, which is this dagger of protection. And plus a +2 one that I started out with. So I'm going to also search for just weapon in general. Not really anything that I don't have to pay for that's really exciting to me. So, just to keep checking, I'm going to switch for armor. Again, it looks like I probably picked up the best things that I don't have to pay for off the floor so far. Now, if I check my shopping list, I only have 100, by pressing the $sign, I only have the 191 gold points, so I can't afford any of this stuff anyways. I will be able to soon, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I still have the fast and mighty, so those can still help me out as I appear on this dungeon, but they're going to disappear soon. So, okay, the haste has disappeared. I'm still mighty. Might tends to last a while. Oh, but it's gone too. Okay, hitting O to auto-explore. And look, we've got another one of these annoying scorpions. But now that I've got a stronger axe, I can make pretty good quick work of that. So here's an imp. Gonna cut through that. Here's another one of these sky beasts. So these things are kind of annoying because they can turn invisible. I'm gonna throw a thing of poison at it. Okay, so I managed to poison it a little bit before it went invisible. I'm gonna try to kite it, keep my distance, and wait till it becomes visible again. Now I'm going to assume it's next to me. Oh, looks like it didn't make it up the stairs. Come up the stairs with me, buddy. And then I'm going to kill it up here. That way nothing else considerably dangerous appears while I was in the area. Now, okay, so here's another sleeping centaur. Oh, this one woke up. So since we're within close range, it's not going to hit me. It's not going to try to hit me with the arrows as likely. It's going to try to, like, basically just kind of kick me. So I'm going to try cutting it with my my axe, and I take care of it pretty quickly. Okay. Oh, so here we've got a number of sleeping, semi-dangerous animals. So I'm going to just try stabbing my way through them. Well, I managed to stab one, but now the rest are awake. And this is a little bit of a problem because I'm not sure I'm quite equipped to deal with all these. So I'm going to throw some poison at that one and attack it a bit more. And these two are surrounding me, but luckily Uskaya puts them to sleep. He mesmerizes them to make them watch me dance, and I'm going to stab the one with the highest health first, and then stab the one with the next with the lowest health. All right, so took care of all those. Uskaya definitely helped in that scenario. Okay, so let's keep exploring. No, there was a plate. So something actually over here. There was a plate mail armor, and I'm going to just pick that up just so I can show it to you. This one has a really high armor rating. Actually, very nice. It's 10, but its encumbrance rating is 18, which means that it would really reduce my stealth if I was going to wear it. Since my stealth is so important to the way that I'm playing currently, it's not worth it for me to pick that up. I'm going to drop it. Okay, so another one of these necrophages. Luckily, you can see my new axe is really helping me cut through these things. Okay. Continuing to explore. Ooh, okay. So now we've seen the first one of the interesting sub-layers of the dungeon. And this one, in fact, actually is called the lair. Sometimes jokingly referred to as the dungeon's petting zoo. So I'm going to... This is And here is a Komodo dragon, which is described by the information here as dangerous because it is more powerful than me at the moment. But I threw some poison at it to make it a little bit more poison, and now I'm going to engage with it in combat, and this is not turning out great. So I need to think of another strategy. I'm going to try throwing the Atropa at it. And I managed to blind it. Now, can I kill it? Nope. So I didn't kill it while it was blinded, but it did walk away from me, which is still helpful. So I'm going to throw more poison at it and keep my distance. And I'm going to go invisible. And hopefully that'll let me stab it to death. And that worked. Okay. So yeah, this is a nice thing about gnolls is you can just pick up a lot of different things and kind of use them all in your strategy. Okay. What else is going on here? Okay, so we've cleared out everything, but we could go to the lair right now. So the lair has a lot of monstery enemies in it. Unfortunately, a number of them are pretty strong relative to where I'm at. Oh, I wanted to pick up that needle that got stuck in there. If I go in here, I might get massacred pretty quickly. And especially there might be hydras. Hydras are multi-headed monsters that can do a considerable amount of damage. And I don't want to deal with that right now. So I'm not going to. Let's see. What can I do next? So I am going to not go down there. I'm going to go down one more level. And I'm probably better equipped to deal with the orcish mines than I am equipped to go through the lair. And I'll show you why once we find it. Okay, so this says near starving right now. When you hit near starving, that's a good time to consider whether or not you want to eat a ration, because you don't want to get it starving, which will interfere with your ability to do lots of things, including using Uskaya's abilities and stuff like that. So, and after starving, you start fainting, which is no good. So I'm going to eat this ration. But I think that might be the first ration I've had to eat in the game, because I've been finding enough corpses to eat, which is pretty nice. Okay. I'm going to keep... Okay, so here's a hungry ghost. So if this thing wakes up and starts attacking me, which it did, it's gonna probably make me have to go through some of... Yep. So that you notice that this thing keeps attacking me, and it keeps making me more and more hungry. So I was saying this is the first time I've had to use eat any rations this game, but this one is actually making me so that I'm going to be starving very shortly. So I'm going to eat a ration. And switch to my dagger. I have 2 of these stars, so I'm going to line pass through it, make it dizzy. That didn't do nearly as much as I had hoped, so I'm going to keep attacking it with my axe. Luckily I managed to do that, but I'm now down to very hungry again, so it made me force me to waste some of my rations, unfortunately. Okay, so now we have a number of we have a few yaks. This could go badly. It went badly last time I tried just taking on a bunch of yaks. I am nonetheless going to foolishly try to deal with it. Okay, so now that I've got this better dagger, they're falling asleep, or this better axe, they're falling asleep faster because I'm doing kind of more damage. So I'm going to stab this one. I still have these 2 other ones. I'm going to switch back to my axe again. Keep attacking. And managed to kill it. Okay, that was pretty good. Here's a troll. I'm going to throw some poison at it. Trolls are definitely heavy hitters if they can get up close to you. It's generally best to try to weaken them remotely before they get up close, unless if you're really heavily armored. Okay, so here are 2 wights, which can do quite a bit of, which are those... Unfortunately, those warrior ghosts that we ran into earlier. This one right here has a +3 morning star. That kind of sucks for me. I'm going to turn off the volume real quick, actually, and just make sure that this is streaming okay, by the way, because I am just worried about the streaming bitrate. It looks like it's probably fine. Okay, never mind. I'm going to close that again. So I am going to... sorry, I'm a streaming noob, and so these kinds of things happen in this video so far. So I would like to deal with only one of these. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. But I brought it to this door opening, and nope, sure enough, the other one just walked next to me. And these two are hitting pretty hard. I'm hoping Uskia is going to be able to help me out before it gets too serious. So I managed to kill that one. I'm going to stomp twice, and that took out the other one. This one dropped a +3 Morning Star. Do I want that? So this one has a base damage of 13, which is pretty nice. But on the other hand, that doesn't seem much better than my axe. But since I don't have anything flaming that's has a blade, I kind of want something powerful in case I run into a Hydra. And again, I'm a gnoll, so I can kind of pick up whatever I run into. Okay. Ooh, so we're going to have an interesting choice when we get up here. Oh, no. So there's a priest. Oh, okay. There's a lot of orcs. Let's get the heck out of here. Now, I am at biggest risk of being smited to death right now. So I am trying to close doors as I go so they can't see me. Because if they can see me, I can get smited by these priests. And that is a big danger. So I got all the way up here. I'm going to eat that ration. I'm going to go down and I'm going to deal with just this one. It's already pretty dangerous because it's got a battle axe, which is a pretty powerful axe. I'm pretty nervous about it, actually. What can I do to make this situation better for me? So I'm going to throw this Atropa dart, which makes him blind, and then stab him to death. Okay. So this battle axe is two-handed. It does a lot of damage. It's not very accurate. It's also a little bit slow. It does do a ton of damage, though. It's also two-handed, so if you need to... you can't wield it with a shield. We can wield it currently, but if we got a shield, we wouldn't be able to anymore. I'm just going to hold on to it because it's interesting. But again, I'm hitting the point where I'm going to need to start just kind of dropping the stuff, the sheer amount that I've just been picking up. Okay, these orcs aren't giving me too much trouble. So I'm going to... So I've woken up this ogre. Unfortunately... Well, I'm going to see... So that stick hits pretty hard. But the ogre is pretty slow. So I managed to do some strong attacks against it and take it out before it was too dangerous for me. Uh-oh. This is not good. So we have an ugly thing on the left. These are heavy hitters. As it says here, extremely dangerous. I can't really handle this very easily right now. And there is this orc priest. Now, I don't think I can handle both of these at once at least. So I would like to not be in this scenario. So I'm going to see, I have some scrolls of teleportation. I'm going to read that and then move away from this. And then after a few turns, it made me teleport. That way I didn't have to deal with that situation, which I think had a good chance of taking me out. Ugly things are pretty nasty. So, okay, let's get this. Let's see if we can take on all of these at once, actually. Now that we've got a nice axe, we cleave through them. Okay, and can we deal with just this thing, which is a quasit? Now, this thing likes to scrape you and decrease your attributes, if I remember correctly. But I managed to take care of that. Now it should be less dangerous to deal with the ugly thing. So ugly things are these big old monsters made by wizards. Wizards always gotten some trouble. Okay, so there is a entrance to the Orcish mines here, which I do want to go into. I don't know if I want to go into it yet. Okay, continuing to move through here. Yeah, I want it invisible again. Well, I'm going to keep attacking it while it's invisible. Oh, okay. Well, now at this point, I should be able to stomp it dead. Okay, that worked. All right, let's see. And there's that Scion ugly thing. So I'm going to try seeing if one of these wands can help me out. Since I am a gnoll, all my attributes get semi-good at once. So I have this wand of disintegration. So what does a wand of disintegration do? It disrupts the physical structure of a target creature, dealing heavy damage and bypassing armor. Nice. So this thing is pretty dangerous to us. It doesn't have a lot of armor, but nonetheless, a wand of disintegration could do probably quite a lot to it at once. So let's try that. Nope. And when I'm trying to attack it, it struggles to resist. Let's try it one more time. it blasted it, and it did not do nearly enough. We are in trouble. So what can we do? Well, our potions won't help. We could teleport out again. I don't really like that idea. I have a Wand of Digging, Wand of Ice Blast, Wand of Enslavement. I could try to polymorph it, but it could just turn into something more dangerous. What else do I have? So I think it's this color of ugly things is not immune to poison. So I'm going to try poisoning it with curare. Did not work. What about Atropa? Did not do. It resists. Okay. How much damage can I do if I hit it? Not nearly enough, apparently. Well, we are going to teleport out of here, unfortunately. So I'm going to read teleportation, waste another one, and I'm going to keep running away from it. And I've teleported away. Okay. Unfortunately, we teleported not far from it, which creates some trouble for us. I do not want to run back this way because the ugly thing might get me. So I'm actually going to just dig straight through this wall with the Wand of Digging and just hightail it out of here. Unfortunately, this now leads us in a situation. What do I want to do? I can either try to go into the lair, which I fear I'm unequipped for, or I could try to go deal with that ugly thing potentially, which I feel like I'm unequipped for, which is not like a great combination. I'm going to take my chances with the lair at the moment, and hopefully the first level of the lair won't give me too much trouble. Okay, so starting right off, we see there's a porcupine, and there is a spiny frog. I'm going to try doing my old stabby routine. It does not look like it's going to work. I'm going to stare dance with this spiny frog, though. Unfortunately, it is not going well for me. I'm too injured to tab my way through it anymore. So what on earth am I going to do? I am going to... What am I going to do? Oh boy. Well, I could drink the Wand of Heal Wounds. I don't really want to. Or the Potion of Heal Wounds. Attack it again. This is not good. So I feel like I have to drink that Potion of Heal Wounds. Because otherwise I just am at risk of just dying right here. I'm not excited about where I'm at, what's happening to me right now in this game. So I am going to try the Wand of Disintegration again. And that managed to blast it and kill it entirely. So we are in a, well, and I rested enough to where I'm now starving. So I now have to eat a ration. We're in a tough spot. It does not feel like we are well equipped enough to deal with the level of things that we're starting to hit in the dungeon. And that is not great. So what we really need is more equipment. Can we get any? Well, we are now at the point where we can afford this pair of embroidered gloves. Will they do anything interesting for us? I don't know. It's actually a gamble to try. Now, what we could do, though, is we can say, well, we're a gnoll. The great thing about gnolls is gnolls can just change their strategy. So we're going to do that. We're going to look for the plate armor. The nearest one is here. We're going to go pick it up. And this is the type of thing that pretty much only gnolls can do. Just be like, you know what? I just want to completely swap out my strategy. We're going to wield our battle axe. And now these monsters don't seem so bad. So now we can just tab through these. That is the cool thing about being a gnoll. You can just switch things up like that. Now, okay. So now I am taking a much more just hack and slashy type approach. This alligator could be annoying though. Let's try throwing some poison at it before we attack. That worked pretty well. I'm going to stomp with a beat. It's dead. Okay. So yeah. Was there any shields, by the way? Oh, there was a large shield. I don't want that. Despite our poison resistance, this water moccasin is got powerful enough poison that it still managed to poison us, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to stomp with the beat. It's dead. I'm going to rest for a bit to recover. Okay, here's a yak. When there's one yak, there's usually more. Yep, there's more. So now I'm going to see. So stabbing still seems to reasonably work, actually, when I'm taking this strategy. But I am getting really beat up. What can I do here? So I'm going to take my Wand of Scatter Shot, which will allow me to blast through multiple of these at once. And blast through both of those. Okay. Stomp with a beat. That worked pretty well. Can I shoot at this thing? Wand of Flame, I guess. Uh-oh, Erica. This is scary. Erica is scary. Erica can do all sorts of things to us that we are probably not equipped to deal with. I would like to run away before I have to deal with her. Let's take care of this spiny frog. Ugh. Too injured to deal with it. Line dance through it. Cut it up. Oh no. Stomp. I'm down on a 1 health. All right. Choice. Do I try stomping again and kill it? No, that will kill me because I'm poisoned enough where I will die if I actually try stomping on the next turn anyway, even if I manage to kill it. At 1 health, I am at risk of that. So I have no choice but to drink my last potion of heal wounds. But it managed to hurt me considerably. Again, I am probably dead. I'm probably dead. I'm going to drink one of these potions of curing. And the spiny frog sping me, and that is game over. Welcome to Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. It is a roguelike, so it is ruthless. We have died. So, you know, that's a common experience in a roguelike. But what the program now does is it lets us see the kind of stuff that we had. So we had here the stuff that was unidentified. We had a protection of fire and a potion of lignification, which, I could have used that in that moment. But I didn't know. Otherwise else, we died, unfortunately. Sorry to say it. End of the game. Well, at least it says goodbye, Dr. Bickbark Stabby. So you've seen I've managed to win a number of times. I have never once won with a gnoll before. So, you know, I guess this is semi-par for the course. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing me play until death in this game. I hope it's given you a good sense of how to play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Some advice in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is if you die, it's extremely common. Don't give up, open it up, start again, learn a bit, die again, keep playing and dying until eventually you figure out kind of enough of how the game works. And hopefully I've given you kind of enough of an idea so that you'll be able to feel confident in playing yourself. So I'm going to stop the stream here. Thanks anyone who checked it out. If you enjoyed this, you could donate to my Patreon, which is at patreon.com/CWEBBER. I also co-host a podcast called Libre Lounge with my friend Serge Rokowski. And otherwise else, if you enjoyed the series, please let me know. I would just love to know whether or not I should keep making these kind of things. I certainly plan on doing more technical oriented things in the future. And not just kind of like gameplay stuff, but maybe free software, actual plays is a thing that's of interest to people. I don't know. There's quite a few interesting free software games out there, and not a lot of people quite know, kind of the nice variety that exists. So have a nice night, and goodbye.